Well, welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. Everybody in entrepreneurial land out there has been watching us, listening to us over the last year now, finding out how entrepreneurs are keeping their businesses going, adapting in this economy. You know, one of my longest business relationships has been with the next guru, and that's Richard Stavis, founder of Stavis Consulting. Welcome back, Richard. Nice to see you.
Thanks. It's nice to see you too, Jeffrey.
Good, Richard. So could you talk to us about Stavis Consulting? Because I know that this is the next journey in your entrepreneurial and leadership life.
Sure. I mean, I have 36 years of experience full-time in the seafood business, but Stavis Consulting has been part of an evolution that I've made, where I spent a lot of time nose to the grindstone as a traditional seafood wholesaler, focused on the buying and selling of seafood. But about 12 or 13 years ago, I really got awakened to the broader world, you know, in the larger context. Seafood from the international perspective, and also seafood in the context of sustainability, social responsibility, labor responsibility, traceability, all of these major issues, all these things that were coming up. And I worked to bring my company into that larger context, the company that I was with at the point. And, you know, all that time that I spent going from a role where I was CEO to Chief Sustainability Officer, I really got to know a fantastic group of people who were in seafood companies, but also people who were in the NGO world, people who were in the funding community, people in the banking community, people who touched this from every angle, government officials, everybody who have to do with wanting to make sure that we're pulling seafood out of the oceans in a responsible way, and that we're treating the people who are helping to bring food to the table with fairness and dignity, and that we're making sure that they're safe along the way. And you know, this what I found when I was at Stavis Seafoods, my prior concern, was that there's only so much that you can do in terms of driving beneficial change when you're within a company, when you need to keep that ship righted, when you need to keep that ship steady. So, you know, I was getting more involved in things that were national and international in nature, and things that were helping other companies and other, you know, people within those companies move their companies forward. And I realized that there was a greater need out there, and that we're at that point where everybody's starting to realize it. And I've got a unique skill set, one that I've honed over the last 12, 13, 14 years. And I've got the ability to help bring people where they need to go, where they want to go, in terms of understanding their business better, understanding it in the context of sustainability, of social responsibility, so that they can make their business stronger, and so that they can make their business more responsive to the needs of the community. So, you know, with that in mind,
I feel you're under, I don't usually say this to most people. I think you're underselling yourself. You're not a salesperson in terms of your leadership role in sustainability previously and in the future. You mean, you've been doing this work internationally all over the world, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I mean, I've definitely, you know, I was a speaker this past summer for the World Economic Forum in Davos, albeit online. No, I mean, definitely, I'm known internationally for what it is that I do, and I have driven beneficial change. But I think my focus now is going to be on helping companies get the change that they want to see at the scale that they want to see.
Well, the environment seems to be in vogue. You know, I know you were overseas for a while and you're back in America right now, but I know that the environment is now in vogue for the last couple of weeks back with this new administration. But if this is fair enough to ask you, Richard, when it comes to sustainability and the environment, what keeps you up at night?
Oh, geez. Well, first of all, I mean, I think that people need to be thinking about their business and the long-term success of their business. And a lot of times it's really short-sighted thinking. The biggest challenge that we have today is that everybody's just looking like this. And when I say everybody, I don't just mean individual businesses. I also mean individual countries. A lot of times when they're looking at how they're managing the sustainability of seafood, they're looking at it within their borders. And the truth is, fish don't stop swimming when they see the end of the border. And so, we need to be looking at how we manage sustainability of seafood in terms globally and holistically. And the other thing is that, to be honest, I think the bigger issue right now, yes, sustainability and care for the environment is important, but the bigger issue is also making sure that the people who are harvesting this fish are safe, and making sure that we know that they're safe, that we're able to demonstrably show that they're safe as well. Because what good is it to know that that fish was treated with dignity if the person who harvested it wasn't? And
Well,
these are the issues. These are the issues that are important, and these are the things. And what you need to keep in mind. Look, I've got kids who are in their 20s. This is an entrepreneurs forum that you have here right now, and I want to just bring up that if you're an entrepreneur and you have a business and you want that business to be there, you need to look at who your customers are and who they will be, and what's important to them. And when I look at my kids who are in their 20s, every decision they make, every purchase decision is an informed decision. It's not like what it was for us. They're not buying things that they see in print advertising or on billboards. They're going online and they're getting the full story, or what they consider to be the full story, which means that if there's any dirt to be found about how your product is sourced, any shortcomings in terms of how you are mitigating risk in your supply chain, that can come out. And conversely, if you are doing a hero's job of ensuring that you're treating people with dignity along the line, you're going to have people who will search out your products for precisely those reasons.
I'm glad you said that. Earlier in my career, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. One of the first accounts I worked on was Accent Flavor Enhancer. And it seemed to be such an epiphany to people when they realized that Accent was MSG. So people are different, you're right, today, and there is more knowledge out there. But my last question, Richard, is sustainability. It really is a great way to build revenue and profits. And some companies need to realize that's where the profits lie in the future. Isn't that correct?
Look, absolutely. I mean, I don't think we're going to see people saying, okay, I'm going to pay $1 more for this item because it's sustainable. But sustainability is what opens doors, and lack of it is what closes doors. In my last role, I found that I was able to prove to the organization I was within that we could open doors to some of the largest retailers, some of the largest restaurant chains in the country, by showing that we were able to bring product that was more sustainable to the table. And by doing that, we were able to knock people out of the running because they weren't heads up, because they weren't being proactive. This is what's going to end up happening. People are going to find themselves obsolete and going to find that they are not in the running anymore. And when that happens, it's going to be too late, because this isn't a situation where you can just flip on a switch, where you can stick a sticker on your bag and all of a sudden your products are in compliance. Right. This takes years of pick and shovel work to make sure that you've done things the right way.
Well, we're going to bring you back again because I have questions. I'm sure you have more stories to tell us, but I have questions around organic fish farming, all the things that people don't, I think, are fully informed in. But until that time, Richard, if people were looking for you for information about these topics, how would they find you?
Well, I'll tell you, I think we're going to have to bring that to the next meeting, because at this point, stavisconsulting.com, which is my website, has a nice little logo that says under construction. But maybe by the time that this gets onto your website, maybe by the time that this gets out there, when they look at it, they'll find something exciting there. Cross fingers.
All right. Well, Richard, it's great talking to you, and we are going to have you back again. There's lots to talk about. And for our listeners, if you want to find Richard, you can find him on the Radio Entrepreneurs website. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back in just a few moments.